the fourth time, I wrote a third time. It's working on Scarlet Communication Manual. Project Persuade Power. 5 to 7 minutes. Speech title is 5 February. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Phil Barth.
It's Groundhog Day, the evening of Groundhog Day, Groundhog evening, if you will. I'm at the gas station filling up my car, and of course when you're doing that, you really don't have a whole lot else to think about. So my mind starts wandering. I started to think, you know, I have literally hundreds of things on my to-do list, and there's all these ideas, and oh, someday I'm going to do this, and someday I'm going to do that, and it's been years, and I really have made about no progress on most of them. And I thought, but yesterday, I actually did do one thing that I didn't have to do that was a future idea. It was actually, I moved some money in my son's account to better manage the risk and return because he's getting nearer to college. And if he doesn't go to college, I would be so angry. I'm sorry, I'd be so angry if I lost money and he didn't go to college. And so I thought, well, what if I did something to move a long-term vision, to help somebody out, to help myself out, something that I didn't have to do every day for a month. And it seemed like February was the best month because that would only be 28 times. March, the extra 3 times, may or may not make it. But February, I thought, okay, I could do that. But then I know me. And I know that without some sort of accountability tool, I'm not going to do it. So then I thought, and by the way, this thought process was a lot faster. When you're filling a Honda Civic, you really don't have that much time to think all these things through in the speed that I'm telling you. But then I thought, well, what about Facebook? Talk about something that is pretty much a waste of time for a lot of people. We have the people that, oh, sigh. Oh, let me quickly ask you, what's wrong, sweetheart? And we have the people that found 27 consecutive really inspirational things that made a change in their life, so they posted. We have the people that invite me to events that I don't happen to be in Arizona for that birthday party, but thanks for polluting my iPad calendar. So there's a lot of wasted things in Facebook. But what if I actually use Facebook for something productive? What if I use my Facebook friends and now my Toastmasters to make me accountable for what I wanted to do in February? And with that, Fat February was born. FAT standing for Facebook Accountability Team. It was a civic, Nancy. I didn't have that much time to come up with something fancy.
You must work in IT.
Look, if I had a Toyota 4Runner or something, I might have had time to come up with something more clever. Don't fill up the church van, I'd be there all day. I would have been, what's the average? Facebook Accountability Team, for lack of a better thing. And I had somebody call me and go, what the hell is this fat stuff? Because I only told on February 1st what I was doing, right? So apparently today's entry's got to be, by the way, here's what it stands for. So I didn't really know, other than the fact that I already had February 1st in the bag, what I was going to do. I'm telling you, this is day 10, and it's been a pretty nice experience. Now, sure, there's sometimes at 11 o'clock, I've got to do something before I go to bed. But in the course of 9 days now, I have changed my email to eliminate distractions. Came up with an idea of what if I didn't have an email pinging me every 2 minutes? What if I batched them up and processed them? That's the way you're productive in other areas of your life. So I did that. 20 minutes before a phone call, I said, gosh, I got to have a task in my list of tasks that would only take 20 minutes to do. What is it? Well, I had 200 tasks to look through to figure out which one took 20 minutes. So instead, I came up with a process where in the description, I now can say, okay, show me everything with the word 20 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes in it. There's the list of tasks. I can get something done. I made myself a little more productive. It wasn't just me that I impacted. Yeah, I know. I'm IT. I'm anal. What can I say?
I work with you guys.
It wasn't just me that I'm making impacts to. My kids have always wanted a tree house, and not the kind they build, not the kind that the neighbors tear down or take over like Randy talked about the one time. So I sat down with my kids one night and diagrammed out what a treehouse is going to look like. Now, do I have a treehouse? Of course not. But in the last 10 years, I didn't have a diagram about a treehouse, so I'm at least one step further along the treehouse. One day I ran a mile, and somebody in this room kind of pointed out that, well, big deal, because you ran it over the course of an entire day, not naming names. But that was more an error on my part, not saying, by the way, I haven't run in 4 years, and I did a quarter followed by 2 minutes of walking, followed by a quarter, followed by 2 minutes of walking. I got the mile in, on my way to, I want to run the Columbus half this year in October. So, but if I don't start running a mile sooner or later, come October, they're really long half marathon. So, the idea here, and it's evolved. I've got more ideas. I've asked my son, believe it or not, if he could give me bass guitar lessons. So he's going to teach me how to play the bass guitar. I don't know why, it just seems like a cool thing to do. You know, if I'm ever unemployed, I'd be a typical bass player. But there's a whole list of things, and I just encourage you to come up with some way to think and just take, some days it's no more than 10 minutes, and get out of that rat race of checking things off and think, how can I make my life more productive? How can I help someone else? What can I do? Basically, get fat.
Thanks, Phil Barth. Your speech was excellent. It helped how to eradicate inefficient